So we're actually talking on the afternoon where this morning Mayor Bloomberg, who's the chairman, unveiled the 9/11 memorial with President Obama and the First Lady and many other elected officials attending, including the mayor and the governor. What does today bring up for you, and what are your sort of memories of 9/11 2001?
Well, just to be clear, I didn't cover it. I didn't go down. I haven't seen the museum yet as we tape, but we aired a portion of the ceremony live on the show. 9/11 is very personal to me, and it was certainly one of the most defining events in the history of the show. We saw it happen out our window. Some of us who work on my show, I didn't see the planes hit, but some of my producers did. We were in the municipal building at that time before we moved up here to Varick Street in 2008. And my office did not, but my producer's office looked right out on the World Trade Centers. And so when the first plane hit, I heard the impact, and I thought to myself, what is that, a sonic boom? And before I could have the rest of that thought, my producer was screaming at me from across the hall, "Brian, the trade tower." And so I came in and we saw those first moments where that piece of the first tower was in flames. The white and black tower with the orange flames against the totally blue sky of that day. That image is seared into my memory, and I will never forget it. And then, of course, the second one happened, and then we knew it was a terrorist attack and not some kind of accident. We were evacuated because our building was so close. And some very brave WNYC colleagues stayed in the building and continued to host and report from here. Some of our news reporters rushed toward the towers, while the rest of us were instructed to walk as quickly as we could away from the towers. But we relocated at the NPR New York Bureau, which was up in Midtown. And instead of 10 a.m., I got on the air at about 5 p.m. that day. And then, of course, as such a defining event for New York, well, a lot of my job at that point was not just to report the news, but to be a kind of companionate host, because it was an entirely changed world for people who were here that day, and we didn't know what was going to happen in the coming days. There was a rescue operation going on at Ground Zero. There were, of course, so many people who were personally affected and lost loved ones, and for everybody else, even just one level of abstraction back, it was a changed city. It was a changed world from that point on. And so keeping people company on that day and in the months that followed, as well as reporting the facts and doing deep analysis of the root causes and the effects and everything. Obviously, if I'm looking back on my 25 years here, that's maybe the single biggest thing.